Welcome to the Cultivation Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Hamill, and this is Season 4 finale. Can you believe it? I know these topics have been incredible. We've gone through them. The weeks have passed by, but here we are, the Season 4 finale, and I have an amazing topic that I'm super pumped about that I want to share with you today. So let's get into it. Today I'm talking to you about playing to our strengths. And a number of years ago, I came across an incredible resource called Strength Finder 2.0. It's put out by Gallup, and it's an incredible tool. The book, not so much, but if you go to the website, you can get the code. You can take the Strength Finder assessment, and it's really eye-opening, and it's been really helpful for me personally and right in alignment with what I want to share with you today. And that is, we all have strengths. We all have leadership skills, leadership ability, because what is leadership? According to John Maxwell, leadership is influencing someone else. And we do all have influence. Even if your job title or description isn't a leader, even if you don't see yourself as a leader, we do influence other people. And so that influence is leadership, and we use our strengths as a leadership skill or a leadership strength, right? So get the assessment. It's a great tool. I totally recommend that. Again, not so much the book. There's other books out there. Other books actually by the Strength Finder organization that is great. But the Strength Finder 2.0, there's a better book than that. But get the code, take the assessment. It's a really powerful tool. But with that, I would say you have strengths. And one of the ways that we live out the cultivated life, this cultivated journey, that identity that we're going through, you hear me talk about it every single week, is that we play to our strengths. And you might be going, I don't have any skills, I don't have any strengths. Yes, you do. That's why you need a tool like Strength Finder to discover them and awaken them and let you know who they are, or what they are, rather, and know that how we can lean into them. So why is it so important that we know our strengths? Well, one thing that it really does for us, when I know my strengths, I also understand that I don't have strengths in every single area. Have you ever been around those people that try to pretend that they're good at everything? They're annoying, aren't they? You're like, that's so fake and phony, because nobody is good at everything, and they're not. And neither are you. You have some key top strengths. That's true. That's real. And the key top strengths you have, while they may look like other people, they're unique to you, as you are a unique person. You're uniquely made. You've got a unique character and unique traits. Whether you see that as a good thing or a bad thing, it is unique, right? That sort of thing. But understanding your strengths and understanding your weaknesses is the only way that you could authentically appreciate somebody else's. And we've all been envious. I like to use this illustration a lot of the times where I talk about music talents, because when it comes to music, I can play the radio. That's it, right? But I'm surrounded by all these jerks in my family that can play all these instruments, and they're amazingly musically talented and gifted, and it's so annoying. But the only reason I'm really able to appreciate their skill set and their abilities and talents is because I don't have them. I know my strengths. I don't pretend that I have them. I know how difficult that would be. And over the course of my lifetime, I've tried to pick up instruments, and I just don't have the rhythm. I just don't have the rhyme. I just don't have the ability to do that. No problem. But because I know I don't have the ability, and I stay in my own lane, I stay in my own strengths, it's the only way I can authentically and genuinely appreciate the strengths of others with no jealousy or envy. I jokingly say that they're jerks. You know, I do wish I could do those things, but with no jealousy or envy, I'm just like, I'm so glad that you are pursuing that gift. I'm so glad that you're pursuing that talent. I'm so glad that you're pursuing that identity and that purpose and that destiny, and I appreciate it, because I could never perform that. I could never deliver on that. I could never create that for community or people or society or humanity or for myself, whatever the case would be, because I know what my strengths are and I can appreciate other people's strengths. one of the main reasons we want to live in our strengths and play to our strengths, if you will, is that playing to our strengths gives us the greatest return on investment. It's the greatest return on our time and energy when we're spending that or giving that to a particular thing. I'll tell you this. I'll use this story that is incredible. And I'm going to give a little shout out to my mom on this season 4 finale, if you will. My mom is a whiz at Excel, Microsoft Excel. I can't figure it out for the life of me. I'm okay. I'm proficient, but I'm not excellent. I don't excel at Excel. Sorry for that little dad joke pun right there, but here we are. And so every time I'm trying to build an Excel document or an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheets, if you will, whatever tool you're using, I usually call up my mom, and she knows when she gets a phone call during the day, she's kind of like, hey son, so you need some help with some numbers, right? That sort of thing. And help me with this algorithm, help me with this tool. And what takes me hours to still fumble through and get wrong, my mom can do in like 5 seconds. I'm like, oh, you're so good at this. Here's the reason. Yes, I can get the task done. Yes, I can eventually arrive at the objective, maybe through Google or YouTube University when I'm learning new things. But by calling somebody whose strength and skill that is, boom, it gets done right away because they're so much more efficient. There's so much better use of their time and better use of my time to find somebody like, oh man, you're so good at that. Boom. How can I employ you to do that? And we're able to play to our strengths. So when I play to my strengths, which for me, I really like structure, I really like organization. In fact, my whole like college degrees and all that kind of stuff is in organizational leadership development. That's what I pursued because I kind of nerd out on those things. That's why I produce these kinds of content and wrote the book and working on other curriculum and all those kinds of things, because I'm trying to play to my strength to say, I'm really efficient at this. I'm really good at this. Naturally, this is a strength that I have. I don't find this cumbersome or burdensome or something that's impossible for me to do. So I work towards this all the time so that I can produce this for other people, that sort of thing. And so you have the same thing where it comes easy. You don't view it as a job. You don't view it as a pain. In fact, you might even view it as a hobby because it's refreshing and a distraction from your quote unquote day job, that sort of thing, right? And so when you play to your strengths, it produces the greatest reward, the greatest return on investment, the greatest results or fruit or product comes when you are in your lane playing to your strengths, your skill set, your passions, your ability and agility to get things done really produces the most results. And so I would encourage you, discover your strengths. Discover your strengths and lean into them. Again, you can use a tool like Strength Finder, and there's others. There's Myers-Briggs and Disc Test and all kinds of things of that nature to kind of go, okay, who am I? What are my strengths? What's natural? Because sometimes it's a little difficult for us to kind of put our finger on and go, you know what, that is me, and we just need it. And when we read it, we go, oh yeah, that is me, and that sounds like me. And once somebody's able to identify it, gives us the pathway to really, really lean into it. Another key component that's so important to why we lean into our strengths and getting those low-hanging fruit or those easy wins or the greatest return on our investment. When we play to our strengths, it builds momentum and confidence into our life, right? Because when we're taking risks, I did a whole episode on taking risks and what does that mean? We did a whole episode on the failure loop and what does that look like and how we fail, yet we learn, and then we grow, then we succeed, all of those kinds of things. But when we play to our strength, it builds momentum and confidence, which we need those ingredients to keep pressing through some of those hard times, right? And we talked about that in the episode where we say life is a marathon or an ultra marathon. We need ingredients like momentum and confidence to get some easy wins or to have some good return on our investment. And maybe it's taking that jump from hobby to side hustle, from side hustle to main hustle, whatever it is that we're pursuing, whether that's a career or a job opportunity or an income stream or something we're going to produce to give to others or project, whatever those things are and they look like for you. Momentum and confidence are key ingredients to help us endure all the way through the finish line. The other thing momentum and confidence does that is so powerful is that it awakens us to new possibilities and opportunities. Listen, opportunities. You hear me talk about this a lot. Maybe you're tired of hearing me talk about this because there are opportunities laying dormant right now, waiting for you to discover they're there. There's opportunities floating around all around you. There's opportunities to make a difference. There's opportunities to make an impact. There's opportunities for business. There's opportunities for relevance and community. There's all these opportunities everywhere around you, but we're just not awakened to them. We just aren't looking for them. We haven't realized them. We don't know they're there, right? That sort of thing. Momentum and confidence keeps our vision sharp for opportunities. It keeps our mind awakened to possibilities. That happens through momentum and confidence that comes from playing to our strengths. Every one of us have strengths. You have strengths. I have strengths. We all have strengths. It's a matter of finding them, discovering them, and then allowing those wins, allowing that return on investment when we're playing to that strength to build momentum and confidence so we can take on the next adventure, take on the next step of our identity, take on the next step of our purpose and potential. It's there waiting for you to seize the day by playing to your strengths. I'd love to hear about what opportunities you're pursuing and what things you know are waiting for you to go after. We'd love for you to interact with us on our social media platforms. Again, we're on all the major players: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, all of those kinds of areas. That's where you can find us at Tom Hamill or Our Cultivated Lives. You can find us there. We'd love to hear your story. We read those, we interact with those, we respond to those, and we would also love for you to share this episode with your friends, your social media feed, so we can multiply our audience. We'd love for you to check out this and all of our other resources and the book, The Life You're Meant to Lead, on our website, ourcultivatedlives.com. You can get that, and again, lots of other resources, tools, and a link to the book, Strength Finder 2.0, that I talked about at the beginning of the show on our website, ourcultivatedlives.com. ourcultivatedlives.com. Until next time, this is a wrap on Season 4, the finale, Episode 13. Thanks for journeying with us. Thanks for working with us. Thanks for following with us. Season 5 is coming your way, so be listening, watching, following, and paying attention as we are about to launch into a whole new stratosphere with Season 5. I can't wait. It's coming in just a few short weeks. But that, my friends, is the Cultivated Podcast. Thanks for checking us out today. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on all the incredible content we have coming out. Also, we'd love to hear from you in the comment section. We read those, we respond to those as we journey together in the cultivated life.